Welcome to Roanoke County Business Partners. The theme of our show today is the healthcare industry. Sometimes our citizens don't stop and think about how many dollars that the healthcare industry brings into our economy. Today we're going to look at two retirement communities and see how they bring in healthcare dollars, Medicare dollars, pensions, bank accounts, and they really do contribute to the economy and become economic engines. So stay tuned to see Friendship Retirement Community and Richfield Retirement Center.
We are here today to celebrate the grand opening of the Rehab Center at Richfield Retirement. With me today is Ray Fisher, the CEO of Richfield Retirement Community. Welcome, Ray.
Thank you, Jill. Glad to be with you.
Now, Ray, Richfield was founded in 1934. You've been around here for about over 75 years. Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about the history of Richfield.
Yeah, Richfield originally started as what was known as a poor farm in the 1930s, and then evolved into a nursing home in the 1960s and 70s. Within the last 15 to 20 years, it's evolved into a continuing care retirement community, offering not only nursing home services, but independent living, assisted living, and home therapy and rehabilitative therapy.
In terms of the ownership of this facility, can you explain to our viewers about that?
Sure, and that's a great question. A lot of people always wonder, well, you're a nonprofit, who owns it? And a nonprofit is owned by those who partake of the services the nonprofit provides, and those owners, so the residents and guests here, actually own the business, and they're represented by the board of directors in terms of their interest.
Now, I know you've been a significant contributor to Roanoke County and to our local economy. Mm-hmm. You're a significant employer. How many employees do you have here?
We have about 580 employees, which at this point makes us about the 5th largest employer, I believe, in Roanoke County. Mm-hmm. And within the next couple of years, given the plans we have in place, we hope to be about 700 employees.
Well, this campus, especially with the retirement living, really provides the residents here with a beautiful home. How many, you said you had about 700 residents here?
About 700.
And I assume that you're looking for new patients on a regular basis. Can you tell us how that works?
Yeah, we essentially have two main kinds of, I'll call them all guests. We have residents that come here to live here, and they'll enter as an independent living resident, and as they age in place and their needs increase, they can then be appropriate for assisted living and move into one of our assisted living care centers. And then as they again age in their ability to do basic modalities of living, like self-toileting and things like that, once they're unable to do that, then they can go to our nursing center. The average time, and those are our residents, so the average time a resident stays in independent living is about 7 years. Assisted living is about 2.5 years, and nursing about 2.5 years.
Okay. Now, when I come here, Ray, I often feel like I'm at a resort. It's just that relaxing, it's that beautiful. Now, with the rehab center in particular, what is unique about this center? What makes it different?
Yeah, the difference here is we have resort-inspired amenities. So the objective, and having been through rehab myself at a young age, coming out of surgery and trying to get to a functional level which you used to have is a real challenge for many people. And for most, it's the hardest thing they have and will ever do. And what we're trying to do is bring leading-edge rehabilitative therapies, protocols, and technologies to bear with wonderful people in a resort-inspired atmosphere with dining that hopefully we have a chef on board who is a French chef and will provide hopefully the best cuisine in the New River Valley.
Well, this is a tradition of quality that you have upheld for many, many years, and obviously you're continuing to represent that high level of quality and service and experience here at Richfield. Now, this addition was about 12,000 square feet, but you also had some rehab that was about $7 million of new investment here in the community for 40,000 square feet.
Right. This total facility is over 50,000 square feet, and we have spent a little over $7 million. And within the next 24 months, we hope to build a new skilled nursing facility with all private rooms, which will be one of the first in the Commonwealth of Virginia. And our anticipation is we'll spend about $25 million on that new facility, including a new auditorium, new dining venues. So again, we're hoping to expand the scope of services and amenities on campus for our residents.
Well, that's exciting news for our viewers and an exciting future for Roanoke County and for Richfield. Is there anything else you would like to add for our viewers?
Please come be our guest, see how Richfield has been changed over time. We're really excited about it. And we're beginning a campus beautification project that will begin in the spring of this year. And hopefully with a lot of flowers, a lot of flower baskets, fencing, new signage, and we're just excited about it.
Ray, thank you so much for being with us today, and if we could ever help you, let us know.
Thank you, Jill. Appreciate it very much.
With me now is John Royal, the Senior Director of Rehab Services for Richfield Retirement. Welcome, John.
Hi, Jill.
Now, John, we are in one of these beautiful guest rooms of the new rehab center. What can you tell us about these rooms? What makes them so special?
They're really resort inspired. They all have Tempur-Pedic mattresses. They're blanketed with Wi-Fi services. They also have a large 42-inch flat screen television, a small in-room refrigerator, large private bathroom that is handicap accessible, and the climate is controlled individually in each room.
Well, the rooms are beautiful, so when you come here, you really get treated in grand style and luxury, don't you?
You really do. You can even call down for room service.
Ooh, I like that. That's nice. Now, this center was built separate from the retirement community. Can you explain how that came to be?
Yes, ma'am. We had a 2S feature on our nursing home building, which was a short-term orthopedic type rehab stay. What we found though is the population that was coming through was really desiring more than a nursing home facility to do their rehab in. So we enabled this model to give them that resort-inspired, great therapy that they come to seek.
Now, how many rooms are in this facility?
It's 48 private rooms.
48. So
Yes, ma'am.
what kind of patients are you looking for here? I mean, what type of patients can you serve in this facility?
We can serve a variety of patients. We're mainly looking for people that need a short-term recovery to get back home. Some of the types of examples would be joint replacements, maybe a small stroke, or just some general debility from maybe a disease or a sickness that they've overcome.
Mm-hmm. Now, insurance usually will pay for these kind of
Yes,
services,
ma'am.
correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, John, I'm particularly excited about some of the other facilities here in the rehab center, and I want to show our viewers a little bit more about that. So let's go downstairs and take a look at some of the facilities that you have.
Great.
We are now in the rehab gym, and John, I want you to tell our viewers what is so special and unique about this room.
This room has a lot of state-of-the-art equipment. For example, this Her line comes from Finland. We're the only one in the Roanoke and New River Valleys that have this to use. It's operated off of air transmission to provide resistance. As you see, there's no weights. It's just simply pressing a button, and it puts air into there to provide the resistance to use it. With this, it allows a patient to be able to start exercising earlier with less weight and functional planes of movement so that they have less stress on their joints and are able to progress faster into more strenuous activities as well. We also have laser therapy available. We have the game-ready cold interneumatic compression systems available, which the Major League Baseball and NFL teams use. All of our treadmills and recumbent steppers have TV, iPod, built-in cooling fans, all the bells and whistles.
Well, this room is very special. It's fantastic to help speed the recovery process for all your patients, and I know that's the goal of Richfield.
It is, and one of the things that's unique about this rehab gym too is it has a home environment where we actually have a designated bedroom that has a soft, squishy, low-sitting mattress, and then we have a bathroom that has the tub shower combo that you have to get in and out of, just to prepare the person so they'll be able to go home. We even have a fully functioning kitchen where they can work on preparing meals and doing other tasks of living.
I know when I'm here, I feel like I'm at home, so this is a beautiful facility. You've done a great job with it.
Thank you very much.
Now let's go see that saltwater pool. I'm very excited about that.
Sounds great.
Okay. We are now in the therapy pool area of Richfield Rehab Center. This is a saltwater pool, right, John? Can you tell us a little bit about this?
This is a great pool. It's a saltwater therapy pool, which you've noticed the smell of chlorine is very minimal in here. We also have a lift chair to assist our guests in getting in and out of the water if needed. It has built-in resistance on the side that can be adjusted for walking in place or exercise resistance. However, the therapist may feel that it's needed.
Now, this type of therapy, the water is good for the skin, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am. That's another benefit of a saltwater therapy pool. It's gentler on the skin and prevents as much drying.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the only saltwater pool like this in Southwest Virginia, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am. It's the only saltwater therapy pool in Southwest Virginia.
That's very unique to this center, and I think it's going to offer a lot of people a lot of needed assistance. John, do you have anything else to add for our viewers about the rehab center at Richfield?
No, ma'am.
Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
We're in North County at Friendship Retirement Community, and joining me is Russell Barksdale, who is president and CEO of this entire complex. Russell, it's really good to have you on the show today. Thank you for joining us.
Well, welcome. We have a lot
Thank
of great
you.
things to show you here today,
Absolutely.
and we're glad you're here.
Thanks. You are the largest retirement community in the state, correct?
Correct.
You're also the largest health and rehab center in the state,
That's
correct?
also correct.
Okay, let's give folks a sense of how large this place actually is with square footage, acreage, number of residents, number of employees.
Sure. We have about 1,000 seniors and patients that come to us for rehabilitation, acute
Okay.
rehabilitation. We have 67 acres just on this one site and about 600,000 square feet. And those 600,000 square feet is broken down into not only this beautiful health and rehab center, which is just 373 beds, but we have 330 beds and units for independent living, for a retirement community, and then another 120 beds for assisted living.
Those are huge numbers. I mean, that not only makes you one of the major employers in the county, but it also makes you a major economic engine. So let's conclude this with, how many options do you offer people for when they come here?
Well, as I had mentioned to you when we first met, we tried to design the plan and the care plan around the individual.
Right.
So in terms of options, there is an infinite amount of options. We have some residents who want to dine in our restaurant, others like preparing their own meals in their apartment, in their own kitchen, and others love participating in activities. Others don't. Others like keeping to themselves, going to their own churches and things of that nature. So
you've
we
got
really
independent living all the way through to home care.
Exactly, and being the largest allows us to diversify. We have our own retail pharmacy here on campus. We have a place where they can buy their groceries.
Russell, you intrigued me when you talked about aging in place and the concept of this community being a village. What did you mean by that?
Well, in a village and in any community, you have to have support services, right? That are provided, and we do. And we have anything from licensed home care, so we can provide services within your own individual apartment based upon your needs. But we also have different programs and services specialized clinically to what your needs are, like acute rehab, like dialysis, like if you start developing Alzheimer's or dementia, we have different programs set up for memory enhancement. So again, it's customized to whatever your needs are, both
But you know, that
socially.
makes sense, because people can retire as early as 50, live to 100. You don't want to stay in the exact same mold. You want more options than that to spend 1 to 4 decades in at least. So let's talk about the baby boomers. They've made a major impact on retirement living. What do you see in trend-wise?
Well, they're absolutely correct. I mean, as we were at this development, if you will, demographically, of having the seniors starting to hit us, the retirees starting to hit us as part of the baby boomer movement, their needs change.
Exactly.
And you have 75% of them are on Facebook, that are on the internet, that are surfing, that are staying in touch with their grandkids. So we have to have those technologies and to support that new lifestyle that they have. Plus, they don't want to be idle. at all. They want to
No.
go out and travel. So we've worked out agreements with the Roanoke Civic Center and things of that nature, so they can go to a Broadway musical and play, and they want to go shopping, and they want to go out and,
Exactly.
and participate in life and not be retired. They don't want to put the retirement, but they want to put the living in retirement living.
Exactly, and they've also changed the way that you build. You no longer just build it and they will come. You build the structure around the resident, which I found fascinating. So tell me, you just won a ranking award from AARP. What's that?
Well, AARP looked at all of the towns within this country and said, where's the best place to retire? And Roanoke, Virginia scored in the top 10, not only because of all of the services and programs, but also the cost of living. So we're a true value for the country, and we see that. We have 11 different states that actually emit residents to us, so we're very proud of that.
That's fantastic. Russell, you just mentioned specialized care and the things that you have unique here, like the dialysis unit, but you also have one very unique spot called the Wandering Garden that you've got national attention in a magazine for and won awards with. So start with the Wandering Garden, because we have these gorgeous pictures we're going to show our viewing audience.
Sure.
And tell us about it and what the purpose
Well,
is.
again, that's another example of designing around the resident's needs.
Exactly, yeah.
So you take Alzheimer's, dementia resident, and they want to get outside, but there are wander risk. So we created this interior garden that is beautiful with edible plants, and they can walk
love
around with
that.
the gazebos.
Yeah.
And it's zero entry, so the wheelchair, if they're in a wheelchair, doesn't tip over when they go into the lawn area. So again, wanted to make sure that they had a great garden that they can plant in, raise vegetables, and still go outside and feel like that they're part of the community and part of the town.
It's a great concept.
And Healthcare Design gave us an award for that, which is a national magazine. So we're very proud of that.
And we're going to show that also to our viewers. Okay, now take a few seconds
Sure.
and run through some of the awards you've received recently, because you've got quite a list.
We do, and we're very proud of that, and we're very proud of
And
our
you should
community
be.
and our staff who really bring it home for us. The Roanoke magazine, which looks at not only skilled nursing, but also looks at retirement communities within the Roanoke Valley, ranked us #1. Platinum Award for both the retirement community and skilled nursing. So there were
Congratulations.
about 51,000 votes, and we're so proud of that, and our staff
You
are so
should be.
proud of that to wear that emblem.
Russell, I want to ask you about growth. I know that Friendship started in 1965.
Right.
And you really had a growth spurt through the 70s with all the major buildings and everything. And
Right.
people across the valley watched all of these buildings go up one at a time. So we kind of come forward ever how many years, and you've got a parallel. You've got a growth spurt going on again.
We do.
So would you explain your business model? Because I find this fascinating. You've got a one-third business model. Tell us about it.
Well, the first is we need to continue to be innovative. And as the demands of seniors change, we want to be luxury living. We want to have that living component of retirement living. And as you can see in the backdrop here, these are our luxury apartments that are really new. And in the back is where Wellington 4 is going to be going, about 34 apartments, very spacious, a lot of closet space, upgraded kitchens, things of that nature. And again, all of this and the developments that have taken place is really, it's a $5.5 million project, is to really to stay up with what the seniors are expecting of us, and the luxury living and the luxury retirement living that they are expecting.
Exactly.
So,
Well,
so it's
being an
important.
economic developer, I love seeing bulldozers and trucks and earth being moved and all.
Absolutely.
And this is a wonderful complex. So take us back to your business model, though.
Well, the business model is really to continue to create value for seniors. And seniors, unlike the seniors 10 and 15 years ago, they're coming with a finite amount of money that needs to last them the rest of their lives.
Exactly.
So we need to be innovative and have those technology advancements and the living spaces around their needs and services, but we also need to bring value to them. And how can we bring our cost structure so that we can be affordable for the Roanoke Valley community? And that's really what has distinguished us in this region, in this marketplace.
And I was also impressed about how you looked at the valley. and that's excluding your out-of-state folks, of course, and decided on where your residents were coming from, and now you've started satellite operations.
Well, it used to, 3-5 years ago, the majority, 80% of our marketplace came from this general area of the Roanoke Valley and North Roanoke.
And now it's everywhere.
Now we have a third coming from Salem, a third coming from Cape Spring in the South Roanoke region, and this migration of people throughout the country to the Roanoke Valley. So it's a very exciting time for us.
It sure is. And your South County project has just been announced. It's very exciting. We're going to talk to the architect of that later in the show. But let's switch gears now and talk about the strategic vision for the future. And that kind of helps us wrap up what we've talked about with friendship. And you talked about a three-legged stool. Will you run through that really quickly?
The three-legged stool is innovative. Okay, and meaning that we can't wait until a senior decides that this is the type of lifestyle they want or these are the services they want. We need to be ahead of that curve, so that when they need that service is there for them.
Exactly.
So we provide retail pharmacy, polypharmacy issues, anticholinergic studies. We have our own diversification. The second is, again, bringing value to that. Seniors have a limited income, a limited amount of money to last them, and we want to make sure that they do not have to move, that this is an aging in place model, that they can have all the services to incorporate around their needs. And the third is reinvesting.
Yes.
As a nonprofit organization, we continually want to reinvest in our community. We offer $7 million a year in charity care and uncompensated care. We provide all of those additional warm services that we need to, and reinvesting in their future so that they know that once they move here, they can age in place and we can have a wonderful retirement.
Oh, you did a beautiful wrap-up, and I also want to thank you for investing in the community, like what you did out on Plantation and Williamson Road for the beautification projects. The county especially appreciates that.
It's our pleasure.
Thank you for your investment. Thank you for continuing to grow. Thank you for growing across the county, for the jobs you create, and for our citizens that you take such good care of. We appreciate it, and it's good to have you as a business partner.
Thank you so much.
We're now in Club Friendship, and joining me is Chris Richardson. He's an architect with Freeman White out of Charlotte. Chris, it's nice to have you on the show today.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for making this long trip to join us. We're excited about what you're going to show us.
Well, we are too.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. You know, in the former interview with Russell Barksdale, we were talking about the impact of the baby boom and how their expectations are changing changing designs of buildings. So
very much.
Your firm has really evolved with this, and you take a holistic approach. Would you kind of explain to us what that is?
Well, Freeman White is one of the oldest architectural firms in the country.
Right.
Originated in 1892, and about 1994-95, we really looked at our practice and realized that there was something more that our clients needed to really make them competitive with the marketplace.
Right.
And so what we did is we reinvented Freeman White to become very holistic. So we approach architecture and design not just from the building standpoint and the facility, but we look at it from operations, from the benefit of best practices, patient experience, evidence-based design. So we use those to inform what we do to create the best possible result for our clients. And sometimes that's modifying their existing facilities, and we've done a number of those. Sometimes there are new facilities that we call greenfield sites, and those are very exciting to do. But it gives us the opportunity to incorporate all these ideas and concepts that we're picking up with our practice across the country and bring those into every single project we work on.
Well, now specifically with healthcare or with rehabs, what kind of trends are you following? I mean, I know the baby booms have just, boomers, of which I am one,
Me also.
have just really changed the whole ballpark.
Right. There's a lot of demands or requests by baby boomers. They don't want to go into institutions. They want something that's very non-institutional, whether they're in it as a hospital stay or rehabilitation, whether it's a long-term care type of a situation. So everything we're doing from from hospitals to continuing care retirement communities to rehab facilities and skilled nursing facilities, is really focused on making the amenities there something that appeals to the baby boomers.
Exactly. And what you're doing over in South County for Friendship is a brand new style of rehab. This is more, in my mind, it's more short term. It's like we were talking before, it's for the guys that were playing pickup basketball and broken ankle, or for a runner that blows their knees out or something like that. So let's walk over here and look at your concept plan, because this does not look like a square gray cinder block institutional building.
No, the intent here with the design of it is to make sure that, or to give the opportunity so that the people coming to this facility think of it as more of a club or a spa type of feeling. So they're coming here as a very short-term type of thing, but it's a bridge to get them back into their homes, sometimes even into the workplace.
I'm sure, and because this looks more like you're stopping somewhere to go have dinner or maybe do some shopping or something along those lines. It's very appealing, it really is.
Exactly, and we're finding with some of our facilities, again, the intent is to help draw the community into those.
Right.
And we find that with some of our facilities, the community will oftentimes participates, it comes in for dinners or meals, because they actually start catering to the greater community. And the intent is to make sure that the people coming to this facility don't feel like it's something separate from where they live, but it's a part of their community. Likewise, and conversely, is the people who are in these facilities don't want to be cut off from the community as a whole. They want that community to come into them.
They want their families to feel welcome and their friends coming in and out. So this is the exterior view. Let's move over here and look at the interior view, because this is different. As we were talking before, I'm used to the square, you know, or the cross, or whatever you want to call it, that has the nurses station dead center. This is very different. Tell us why you designed it this way.
Well, one of the key aspects of current best practice design for any kind of healthcare facilities, first of all, is going to private patient rooms.
Right.
So when you do that, and the state codes require that you keep those patients no more than a certain distance away from your central nursing area.
Of course,
so
that makes sense.
These are designed in communities and neighborhoods so that each neighborhood really has its own focus. Not only is there the nurse station, but across from the nurse station is essentially a living or family area that makes it very friendly and open for the patients
to congregate.
To be there, which is where they generally want to be. Likewise,
and your outside spaces are right across.
Right, they have outside spaces, and a variety of those, including a space that can really focus on rehabilitation and provide those opportunities for different services.
Excuse me, how do you design to cut down on infection and that type of thing?
Well, one of the key things is really locating the services for the patients at the proper spots, so the nurse and the staff are encouraged to wash their hands, sanitize their hands before they go from patient to patient.
Right.
And we find that really the planning and design of the facility, including the private rooms, really encourages that.
And I think people want the privacy. We're so spoiled now.
Right.
And what you have, we were talking about, it is like a spa. You are really pulling in a lot of the components of a spa into this rehab center, so that does make it become part of the community, because people need this type of facility in the midst of their community so they can get in and get back into life, right?
Exactly, and you talk about spa, and one of the areas that we have in here is the central bathing area, which can be very institutional. We actually design it to be more of a spa with the materials, the colors, sometimes the plants and greenery, artwork, so people are not, you don't feel like it's a thing that's really increasing their stress, but it becomes a relaxing area.
It all makes sense, and it's great. And Chris, we look forward to working with you, and thank you so much for bringing this wonderful concept. We'll be back in touch, I'm sure, when we do a ribbon cutting.
All right. Thank you very much.
I'll look forward to working with you some more.
All right.
Thanks for joining us on the program today. We hope you enjoyed seeing the newest trends in retirement centers, communities, and rehabilitation facilities. If you'd like to be on this program, if you have anything exciting going on, like you're expanding, you're creating jobs, you've achieved a new certification, call us at 540-772-2185. We'd love to have the opportunity to showcase you on Roanoke County Business Partners.